Welcome back to the Survive and Thrive series. I'm Nathan Hurd, Chief Growth Officer with the Oxford Club, and together we're here to figure out how do we make the most of this crazy experience? How do we look back on it as a moment of value, not a moment of pure difficulty, which of course it is. And today is an incredibly important part of that. You see, you have something very powerful within you. It's an ability that has and will continue to contribute to your happiness, your inner strength, your level of fulfillment more than almost any other. If you would, finish this sentence. Everything living either grows or, that's right, dies. It flourishes or wilts. And I believe the key to happiness lies largely in this simple concept that we'll discuss today. You see, if you're not growing in any area, in some area of your life, it feels stagnant, it feels flat, it feels dead. But if you're making progress in even one area, you will feel more alive. It's as simple as that. And now, the opportunity for what we're going to discuss today has really never been better for so many reasons. Number one, because we're going through adversity. Number two, because we are confined and have the ability to focus more than we have in the past. And number three, because we're reflective. We're thinking about what matters. We're reevaluating what's important. All of those things contribute to today's topic, which is growth. Your ability to make forward progress. You know, in all the conversations I've had over the years with Oxford members, there's one universal truth. Our most successful members at the club never stop growing, learning, and expanding. They know that there's no such thing as failure. As long as you learn a lesson, you are able to grow, and then you ultimately have more to create with and to give. And I think that's why we're really here. To grow so that we have more to give. But today, let's start and focus on growth. Let me ask you this. How many of you have experienced a big financial hit at some point? Whether that's a business deal that closed, a big investment that paid off, a bonus came through from work, a big real estate transaction, something, and felt that sense of excitement and euphoria. And how long did that feeling last? A day, a week, a month, maybe a year? It didn't last forever, did it? And why is that? It's because we are here to grow. It really is about the journey. And this experience we're in is part of that process, which is why it's such an opportunity. You know, there's a great quote from a man named Jim Rohn, which said, "What you get will never make you happy. But who you become will make you either very happy or very sad." Today, I'm going to walk you through a few very simple steps that will help you to make the most of this experience, but really to make the most of your life from here moving forward. And look back feeling increasingly grateful for who you have become. It's something that I do multiple times a year. And with that opportunity in mind, let's get started. I'm going to give you 7 simple steps. And these are how you can look at where you are today and really figure out what's most important, how you want to grow, and then get a plan in place to start doing that. But here's where we start. Step 1 is this. In what area currently would you like to see progress? Where would you like to grow most currently? Would you like more energy or more physical strength? Would you like to improve your intimate relationship or the relationship you have with your kids or grandkids? Do you want more financial certainty or stability or abundance? Do you just want to feel happier? Do you want to improve the general day-to-day baseline of how good you feel? Are you after a promotion? Or do you want to retire? Do you want to write more? Whatever it is, jot down a few ideas and take a few seconds here. By the way, please feel free to pause this, take a moment, but take the time you need to jot down these ideas. So what are a few areas that today you really would love to grow in? You feel like there's the greatest opportunity for progress, and it would give you the most reward to grow in these ways. So jot a couple ideas down. That's step one. Second step is we need to answer this question. Next to each of the items you wrote, why does this matter to you? So if you said, I'd like to feel a higher level of vitality, I'd like more energy, I'd like to feel more physically strong, why does it matter? And let me give you 2 ways to think about this, because they're both important. Number one, when you think about why, think about what's possible if you were to make progress in this area. So let's stick with the health and vitality. What opportunity would be available if you were to make a meaningful change in that area? And the second aspect of why. What are the consequences of staying the same? You know, whenever we're looking at some sort of objective or some forward progress, it's so valuable to look at it from both sides. Okay, so take a few minutes. Again, pause if you need to, and jot down those items. Come up with the reasons why it matters to make progress in the areas you've listed. That's step 2. Next, step 3. And this is a big one. What has prevented you from making progress thus far? It's important we know this so we can address what's likely to get in the way. So usually this is going to be either just obstacles, legitimate obstacles, or excuses. And we've all got excuses. Put them down. Don't be afraid of them. Just put them down on paper and be honest with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. But as I've said in past videos, seeing things for what they really are is the first step to change. And so put down what has prevented you from making progress thus far in anything that you wrote down as an area you'd like to grow. All right, step 4. Again, pause if you need to. Step 4 is to actually put together a simple plan. Now, I think we all know there are no shortage of resources. There are endless amounts of books and audiobooks and YouTube videos and the research that we're sending you every day, all day. And the key is to dig into some resources, whatever you need, find the tools that are available everywhere around you. But make and document some simple steps that you can start to take. And the key word there is simple. You know, complexity is the enemy of follow through. The more complex you make something, the less likely you are to follow through. So my suggestion is, you know, if you want to get healthier, just put together a couple simple steps. By the way, how many of you do you know people that New Year's Eve, they make plans that they want to do, 4 or 5 different things that are all, each one of them. They want to lose 15 pounds. They want to learn to speak Spanish. They want to, join a club. They want to do this or that. We all have different objectives, but don't overwhelm yourself. Keep it simple. Simplicity is the key. And this does not have to be complicated. What are a few simple steps that because we all do, that you could start to take consistently that would produce results? And consistency really is the key here. Okay? And we'll talk about how to get that consistency in just a second. That's step 4, is build some sort of a simple plan. Step 5, this is a little trick that I've used for myself for many years that works extremely well. Whatever you come up with, put something on your mirror. So here's what I do. This could be a simplified version of your plan, a reminder of why you want to make progress in whatever area, some indication, some trigger that you can put on your mirror. And so what I do is I put it right on my mirror, right next to my sink, and every morning when I get up, and I brush my teeth and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, it's right there. You would be surprised how encouraging that can be, and also how great it is to remind yourself of that every day early. And it's really important that you're looking at yourself, you're looking at your own reflection, and you're relating that to the objectives that you set for yourself. It can be really powerful. So my recommendation here is step 5 is put some little reminder for yourself right on your mirror and look at it every day. It's simple, but it's extremely effective. So that's step 5. Step 6, once you have this plan in place, whatever it is, something very simple, reward yourself for milestones, for obstacles, or for overcoming little bits and pieces, for taking little steps every day, every week. Don't wait until you finish some big objective. If it's a physical goal, or if it's a hobby, or if it's something that you're, bigger that you're after, reward yourself for taking those smaller steps. And there's a few ways you can do that. But we've all heard, journaling can be a great way. But I'll tell you, when it comes to this, it's a great way it's not so much about the accountability, it's about rewarding yourself, reminding yourself that you are making progress every day. And it doesn't take much. Take 5 minutes at the end of every day or at the beginning to jot down the progress you're making against whatever it is you set out to accomplish. You can really build on that kind of momentum. But it's very easy for us to trick ourselves into focusing on how far we have left to go or what we still haven't yet done versus what we already have. So journal. You can also do meditation or prayer and just remember, speak to yourself, remind yourself, incorporate that into just a couple minutes at the beginning or at the end of each day. So that's another option. And a third is share it. Tell people. There's almost no better way to keep yourself excited and motivated than to share it with the people that matter to you most. So as you make progress, as you take forward steps, share it with friends, with family, and so on. And then the last step, so that's step 6, by the way. The last step is step 7, is now it's time to keep going forward progress and follow through. And one of the best ways to do that is put whatever it is your intentions are, whatever you come up with, share it. Share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it with your colleagues, share it with the people in your community, tell other people. Because you and I both know that it's, when you're on the hook with, you've sort of made this a commitment publicly, it's a lot harder to break, right? So follow through. And by the way, I encourage you, whatever you're interested in, whether it's your health, your wealth, hobbies, interests, find communities of like-minded people. And the Oxford Club, of course, is a great resource for this particular area. But find a community that you can engage with. All right, let's review very quickly to go back through the steps. First step was decide where you'd like to make progress. Step 1, decide a couple areas of your life. It can be 1, 2, 3. Don't go too crazy. But a couple areas of your life where it's most important for you personally to grow at this stage. Number 2, get clear on why it matters. And that's both by identifying the possibilities and the consequences. The possibilities of taking action and making progress, and the consequences of doing nothing or staying the same. Number 3, figure out what has prevented you thus far. What's prevented you from making progress thus far? It's probably a combination of obstacles and excuses, but write them down and put them on paper so you can reflect back on them, so you can trigger yourself. Number 4, document a simple plan. The key is simple. Remember, complexity is the enemy of follow through. Simplicity is what matters here. So that's step 4. And there are endless resources to come up with a few simple steps to get started. And once you have momentum, it's a heck of a lot easier to keep going. That's how habits form. Number 5, put something on your mirror. Don't worry about what other people think. Put some reminder, big or small. It could be an image. It could be a few words. It could be a little version of whatever your plan is. Put it on your mirror so that every morning you connect that as you look at yourself, as you start your day. It's a great way to reinforce, and especially early on in the day, every day like that. Number 6, reward yourself for milestones. Give yourself those little, positive reinforcements. Journaling, meditation, prayer, just sharing, your little, the little steps you're taking, the progress you're making with friends and family. And number 7 is follow through. Keep the momentum going. And the best ways to do this that I've found are share it publicly with friends, family, Facebook, whatever works for you. And also find communities of like-minded people to engage with, because it'll help you to keep the momentum, and you'll be part of a tribe, and you can create those tribes. There's tons of ways to do that online. There's forums and communities and blogs and Facebook groups and all sorts of places, even while we're stuck home, right? So that's step 7. So listen, again, I think that growth is truly the key to happiness. Progress in your life is, the thing that makes us feel alive. And it certainly is the thing that helps us to feel a sense of pride when we look back on, on who we've become. So take a few moments. I hope these steps have been helpful, and shoot me a quick message if you have questions, if you're, whatever you discovered, whatever you figured out here, if you have suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a quick note. Until next time, this has been the Survive and Thrive, and I'm Nathan Hurd. Be well and be relentless. Take care.